Thank you so much.
I think Jay is having some technical problems. He's setting up his speaker right now. He's at the office using
Okay.
his desktop. But what I
Ah, okay.
suggested that he do is
I'll
just post
post.
his question in the chat room.
Yes,
Yeah, I open up.
yeah, sure. I'll also be posting the link that he could probably open later on if he's still having some technical difficulties. Right? So let me know when everybody's ready. I'm gonna start with the presentation for Gloria to discuss. Right? So let's get started.
Okay, here we go,
Thank
guys.
you. And we're going live in 3, 2, and 1.
All right, guys. Don't let your dreams remain as a dream. Welcome to my webinar. And we hope that World to Australia Migration
She's
Solutions
talking.
can help you achieve your dreams. Let us just show you a few slides
No, no, I paused it.
of the beautiful place that we now call our home. There's a lot of background noise.
Good thing my dogs are behaved here. They're not causing any noise.
Your dogs?
Yes.
You're the one
They
causing the
don't.
noise?
No.
All right, Amy. Where's your slide?
Okay.
We're on the slide now that shows you different parts of Australia.
Mm.
Places that you can only dream about. And we live our dreams. It's not up, Madeline. Your slide is showing. I don't know whether everybody can see the slide. It's all the different places in Australia.
Oh, I think I have it.
I think you need to turn everybody off from the web and then just show your web so that everybody can see it. Bear with us, guys. Oh, thank you, Alvin. We're just having a little bit of a technical issue here. Can you see the screen though, Alvin? Oh, I can see you. You there, Madeline?
You can see me
Yeah,
now,
everyone.
Tita?
Okay. I think,
Okay.
Madeline, if you
Yeah.
turn off the video, you
Okay.
think, will that help if we turn off the video and then we can just see the PowerPoint presentation?
All right.
You think? I don't know.
Well, how many of you guys are not able to see the? How many of you guys are not able to get the video? So we could send you a presentation
Can
or a
you,
copy for this.
yeah, can you see the presentation?
No, Tita. It's Alvin.
Oh, Alvin, so you can't
Hi,
see the,
Alvin.
I really have a weak signal, Tita. I'm unable to see the presentation.
okay. So I think, Madeline, if you maybe turn off the video, and
Yeah,
then the only thing that will come on is the slide, maybe it
this
will
live.
work.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone
Let's
else?
try that.
Mhm. Let's try that.
So Amy can't see it from there. Jay can't see the video either.
I can see the video.
Alvin can't see the video.
Okay. All right. I guess that's been configured. Now let's try here. Okay. Let me know who else is unable to see the slide here.
Okay, you've jumped there. You have to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, can you guys see the video?
Now, anyone else who's not getting a video right now?
I can see it.
Okay, good. How about the others? Are you able to see the video from your end?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, good. Just let us know if anybody else is having some technical difficulties so we can work it out, okay? So we'll try to play the video again for you. Hold on.
All right. Okay, guys, welcome again. And hopefully I welcome you in Australia one day soon.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Right. So these are just beautiful spots in Australia, just to whet your appetite. All right. You all know that. That's the Sydney Opera House, the famous Sydney Opera House.
Yes,
And
Tita.
that is the Gold Coast over there. So Amy, that's where you have to go for your honeymoon.
You mean our second honeymoon?
Yeah, second honeymoon. Is
That's
jumping up
in
and down.
Melbourne.
Yeah, that's
That's in
Street
Melbourne
in
in Flinders
Melbourne.
Station.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I was there.
And I guess that's somewhere out west.
I think that's in Tasmania.
Yeah, that one, the ones with the tree, that would
This
be
one
most
in
probably
Queensland.
Canberra. No, we don't get that in Queensland. That's like, autumn leaves.
Mm,
All right, and that's me, guys. Live your dreams in the land down under. All right, just a brief introduction about myself. I moved to Australia in 1975, first on a student visa. I was fortunate enough to be paid while I was training to be a nurse. So I'm
Mhm.
a qualified registered nurse for many years. And then I decided to study Australian migration law and practice. That's originally it's just to help my fellow Filipinos to achieve their dream also of living in Australia. We all dream to go abroad, and Australia is one of the lucky countries. And then I realized it's not just the Filipinos who want to live in Australia. So that's why we call it World2Australia.
okay.
So I have an office in Manila and in Australia. So to be able to come to Australia, you need a visa. And there are so many different types of visas. You need to meet the criteria for different types of visas to be able to be granted that visa. And tonight I'll talk mainly about general skilled migration visas. Every year, the 1st of July 2016, they update the skilled occupation list. In short,
Mm,
it's called SOL, or the Consolidated Sponsored Occupation List. I just have a few slides here that has all the occupation in the skilled occupation list. So you'll see there you have managers, engineers, architects will be there, doctors, teachers, registered nurses. I think I have about four or five slides. There are over 200 occupations in the list. And they're not only doctors and nurses. There are also occupations for panel beaters and bricklayers and glaziers are in demand, chef, cabinet makers, electrical lines worker. So these people can apply for an independent skilled migration visa, which is a permanent visa. But in order to do that, there are occupations that are removed from the skilled occupation list and moved to the consolidated occupation list. And as you can see, there are mining engineers, petroleum engineers. That's because the mining boom's gone. Dental hygienists, prosthetists, and technicians being moved to the CSOL. But there's a couple that's been added to the skilled occupation list. And they are prosthetists, they make prostheses. So the consolidated sponsored occupation list, there's about over 300 occupations in that list. You must nominate an occupation in that list to be able to apply for the state nomination visa, subclass 190, or a direct entry employee nomination scheme, the 186. or temporary work visa, the subclass 457. You know, those are the people you call here overseas Filipino workers. They go to Australia on a 457. It's a temporary visa, and you need an employer to sponsor you for that. And then there's also the training and research visa, the 402. But mainly I'll be talking about the skilled occupation, the general skilled migration visa. So is your occupation in the skilled occupation list? The architect is there. Is there an opportunity for you to work in Australia? Definitely, yes. So let's just look at some stats here. This is an old one because I haven't got the current one, 2014 to 2015. As you can see, the Philippine family is they're fourth on the list. In the points tested GSM, which I'm going to talk about tonight, the Philippines is ranking fifth on the list. Employer-sponsored become third on the list. The total skilled stream, the Philippines is ranking fourth. Student visa, we're just on the 15th on the list. Temporary skilled visa, that's the work visa. Philippines is on the 5th. Visitors visa, the Philippines go there and about the 16th on the list. But in total, the population of Australia in 2014 to 2015, the Philippines is 5th on the list. So there are lots of Filipinos in Australia. The next slide here just shows the migration to Australia in 2014-2015. There was 190,000. 68% of that are in the skilled category and 32% are family stream. So skilled migration to Australia. The target is for migrants who have skills or outstanding abilities. And there's a system called Skill Select. It's an online system where skilled workers who are interested to move to Australia can submit an expression of interest to be considered for the skilled visa. Some people do this themselves, and some people engage the services of a migration agent. There are four main skilled migration categories. One of that is the point-based skilled migration, which I'm going to discuss tonight. The permanent employer-sponsored program, business innovation, and the distinguished talent. So let's talk about the general skilled migration visa. It's the points-tested skilled migration visa. There are three types of visas in this category. The subclass 189, which is the independent skilled visa. Now, you don't need a sponsor for this. All you need is a score of 60 and your occupation to be on the SOL. And then the subclass 190, you have to have a state or territory nomination. This allows you to live and work in Australia as a permanent resident. So you need 55 points, which you get an extra 5 points from the state. And then there's a provisional skilled regional sponsored visa, the subclass 489. This is provisional, but it has a pathway for permanency. You get 10 points allocated to you if you apply for this visa. Whether you get the I've done this one. So let's go through the point system. Okay. So the skill select for the 189, the 190, and the 489, there's three stages. The first stage is you submit the online application for the expression of interest. The second stage is the minister then sends you an invitation to apply. And this is according to the occupational ceiling of your occupation. And then once you get that letter, then you apply for the visa. You still need to meet health and character criteria to be able to be granted the visa. And you need to make sure that the points that you claim are current at the time the minister sent you the invitation to apply. Now, how do you work the points? The points is allocated to 10 different categories. So people who are between the age of 25 to 32, they get the highest points, 30 points. After 32, you get 25 points. And by the time you age 45, you don't get any more points. With education, if you have a bachelor's degree, you get 15 points. If you have a trade qualification or vocational qualification or a diploma, you get 10 points. If you've got a doctorate degree, then you get 20 points. Now with the English proficiency, if you score a 7 in IELTS or B in OET or 65 in PTE, that's proficient English, they give you 10 points. If you get higher points in your IELTS or OET or PTE, you get 20 points. Then your work experience, you get from 5 points to 20 points. 5 points is for work experience of between 3 to 5 years. 8 to 10 years, you get about 15 points. You get higher points if you have Australian work experience. Now, if you studied in Australia for 2 years, you get 5 points. If you are an engineer, an accountant, or an ICT, you get 5 points after you complete your professional year. Then if you do a credential community language as a translator or interpreter, you get 5 points. If you studied in regional area, you get 5 points. If you have a partner whose occupation is in the same occupation list as you and have had their skills assessed, they get 5 points. Then when you get the state nomination or apply for state nomination, you get 5 points. So let's give you an example of how this works. So I'll use a registered nurse as an example. So this registered nurse is 26 years old, so she gets 30 points. She's got a bachelor's degree, so she gets 15 points. Now, to be able to apply for registration as a registered nurse, you have to have proficient English. So that is 10 points. Work experience, she's worked for 3 years, so she gets 5 points. The other areas here is not applicable to her, so she doesn't get any points. Now, she may apply for subclass 190 to get that extra 5 points, which gives her a total of 65 points. It's better to go 60 and above or above 60 because she gets invited before somebody whose score is 60. All right? So in order for the registered nurse to work in Australia, and there are opportunities to work in Australia for a registered nurse from the Philippines, there's definitely an opportunity for them. As you can see in the next slide, this is the health workforce 2025. You can see there on the slide that there will be workforce shortages for doctors and nurses. 27% shortage in nurses and 3% for doctors because of the maldistribution of the medical workforce. You can check that website, hwa.gov.au. So looking at that, do you think there's opportunity for Philippine trained nurses to work in Australia? The answer is a definite yes. However, before she can get registered, she needs to be qualified first by the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Authority and the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Australia. And in order to do that, there's a process to follow, which is going to be in the next slide. So firstly, the RN applies to APRA, completing the AGOS form. So they can complete this form themselves and submit it to APRA, or they can engage my services to assist them. And then once you get the letter from APRA, you submit that to a college that is approved by APRA to provide the ION course, and I'm an agent for ACFE. They provide the ION program in Melbourne. Once you get the enrollment accepted, you apply for a visa 600 business stream, and then you do the ION program. Once you complete the ION program, ACFE will submit your results to APRA, who then issues you an RN license. Only then can you start looking for a job, or you'll get a job sponsored by an employer, or you can start your general skilled migration visa, subclass 190 or 189 or 489. So the IM program, slides not up. So you guys will probably not be interested on this one because this is for nurses, but it's pretty much similar to what the other professions have to do. The RNs just take a little bit longer than other qualifications because they have to go and do the IN program. And their investment, if we get the screen up, it's down below. The investment for RNs to do the IM course is about 18,000 Australian dollars. But then, is it worth it? I know the slide, so even if the slide's not up, I can talk about it. It is worth the investment because RNs in Australia earn from $51,000 to $75,000 base. So on top of that, they get superannuation, they get afternoon shift allowance, they get night shift allowance, they get paid 6 weeks holiday pay, they get paid on-call allowance, they get paid recall allowance, they get paid uniform allowance, and many, many more that Filipino registered nurses don't get. I think one of your RNC tells me she earns 5,000 pesos a month, working 6 days a week. So for other, all right, there's also a comparison between the wages of Australian registered nurses versus the New Zealand registered nurses. Australian registered nurses are paid more than the New Zealand registered nurses.
No wonder some of my friends have already moved from New Zealand to Australia.
So there is a trans-Tasmanian agreement that when they get registered in New Zealand, they don't have to do anything. They are qualified in Australia to work there. So they don't have to go through the same process that a Filipino registered nurse have to go through. So some people do that. They go to New Zealand first, and then they move to Australia. The pathway for other qualifications, such as architects, would be to do the English proficiency test. Anyone who wants to go to Australia, except for visitor visa and partner visa, they have to have an English proficiency test. And the score that you need to achieve depends on your qualification. So we need to find out first, like for architects, your skills assessing authority will be the Australian Architects Association or something. And I don't think they require you to have a proficient score like 7. I think your score will only be at 7. And then once you get that done, you apply for a skills assessment. Now, what the skills assessment do is they assess your qualification and your work experience to see whether it's equivalent to the Australian standard. And if they say that it is equivalent to Australian standard, then you pass your skills assessment, and then if you've got the 60 points, you can then submit an expression of interest. So that's your skill select process. Expression of interest, and then you wait for the minister to send you a letter of invitation to apply, and then you apply for the visa. Then you have to show that you meet the health and character requirements. Is it worth your investment? Because it will also cost you money to do these things. Your English test will cost you, I think, $500. And then, of course, you have to apply for your visa, which is at the moment 3,600 for skilled people, whether it be architect or welder. That's the fee, and that will increase on the 1st of July, or it may remain the same. God knows what the government's gonna do. And then, yeah, because like with the partner visa, they increased it by
Yeah, they
50%
did.
last year. Yep,
It's
yep.
around 6,568.
6,865. Yeah,
6,586.
yeah,
65. Yeah.
yeah. And then my fee, of course, I charge 3,500, and then your airfare. So your investment will be about 12,000 compared to the RN. The RN has to invest 18,000 first. They won't have to spend another 12,000 to get the skilled migration visa because they've already done the skills assessment and the English test. But they still have to pay for another type of visa, the permanent visa. But is it worth it? It's definitely worth it because you get paid a lot more than what you're paid here in the Philippines. Minimum wage, the basic there is about, for work visa, for those people who go to Australia, you know, the 457, they have to be guaranteed $54,000 a year. And some painters that I have met, some of my clients, they earn over $100,000 just as a painter. And how much do they earn here in the Philippines? They earn how much? 600 pesos a day. That's like, what's that, Amy? $20? $20 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So there's lots of opportunity in Australia. Of course, you have to invest, but it's a permanent visa. That's your dream job. Architects, I think they will earn over 100 grand a year. And I think that's the end of my slide. Oh, the last thing is student visa. Now, if everything fails and you haven't met the points and your occupation is not in the list, your other option would be to look at studying in Australia. Australian education system is one of the best in the world. If you get an Australian qualification, you can work anywhere in the world and you will be recognized. Now there will be changes on the 1st of July. The subclass for student visa will only be two subclasses, the 500 for students and subclass 590 for guardian. And then the living cost that they require will increase to 19,320, I think it is. So for you to apply for a student visa, you need to show proof that you have access to your tuition fee for the year and your living cost for the year. So it's about 36,000 roughly that you need to show you have access to. I
I
will
heard some
do another
students as well.
webinar for, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Collins, to cut you out. I just had some of my friends who's studying right now in Melbourne in Deakin
Yeah.
University. She said something about her student visa. She had to show like 3 million pesos, and she had to not touch the money for at least 3 months.
No,
Is that still required?
that's not quite right. For student visa, it depends on your course. So let's say you're studying in university, so that's about $26,000. And then your
Mm,
living cost at the moment is 18,000. So that's 44, 45, roughly $45,000. So what's that in pesos?
mhm.
$45,000. So that is about
I think times
3.5, isn't it? Is it?
yeah
40,
1.5 million.
45. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you have to show them that you've had it in your bank for 3 months before you apply. It doesn't have to be there
Mm,
for 3 months after once you get
okay.
your student visa approved, you can touch that money. Yeah, it's only 3 months before you apply. You have to show that you've had that money in your bank for 3 months.
Okay.
All right, and it'll be more from the 1st of July. They've added another $1,000.
I hope not.
Yeah, yeah, they have. They've added it. It's gonna be
Oh.
19,000 something for living costs. But it doesn't mean to say that you're going to spend that. You just need to
Mm,
show that you have access to those funds.
okay.
So the
I had
students,
a
what they need to spend for in the beginning is their enrollment fee, the deposit for the tuition fee, and then the money that they have to
mhm,
show, which is what they call here show money. It shows the
okay.
government that you can support yourself, right? But most students who go
Okay.
to Australia, they work 20 hours a week and they're actually able to save the money to pay for the tuition.
Ah, that's great. No
Yeah,
wonder they're already working right now.
they're allowed to work 40 hours a fortnight.
That's good. I have a cousin
Mm,
in Laguna who's wanting to go here and study, and she's already checking some universities now, so she can
yeah.
send in her expression of interest so
No,
she
no,
can study
no, no.
here. Does she
Student
need
visa
to do that?
no, no. Student visa don't have to do an expression of interest. That's a
Ah,
different
that's good.
application process. So I'm gonna do another webinar just specifically for student visa. Once
Okay.
the surpass 500, maybe I'll do it next week for student visas alone. Now
Okay.
that Madeline and I have been able to do this webinar, we can iron out some problems that we've had and we'll present
Mm,
student visa information.
All right, there you go. So, for any questions or concerns that you may have regarding Australian migration, you can either post it on the group chat that we have here, or you can now ask Ms. Collins about it. So, we'd like to take the first question for her. Amy, any other questions?
I think I don't have any. I'm already here. But
Yeah, how
I
about the
think Kuya
others?
Jun is. I think Kuya Jun has a question because he's an
Huh?
architect.
Yeah, go ahead
is, is
and
he
Uh,
still
have your
is he
question.
still
yeah,
there or
because
have
I've
I
seen.
lost him?
Wait, wait, I'm here. I'm still here. Uh,
Okay.
Pwede ka naman
okay,
mag-Tagalog.
because I was. Uh, can I speak in Tagalog or can I speak
Oh,
in English?
oh,
Yeah, sure.
oh,
It's not a
oh.
problem, man.
Okay.
Right, I'm already a bit old. I'm 35, so it's
You
still
get
good
25 points.
for me.
25 points.
Oh, really? Okay.
25 points. Habulin mo na lang yung
35,
yung
35.
score mo sa English
And
test
usually, how
at
long does it
saka
take?
the English test.
English test. Yeah.
Oh.
How about the English test? I need to take the exam pa muna.
Yeah, yeah. You have to do the test. And you can do Pearson PTE. You can book tomorrow. You can sit for the test next week, and you get the result by next week, 2 days. And then once you've done that, you can
Okay.
start your skills assessment. Now, there's a different process for architects. I think it's a bit difficult for architects to get the skills assessment, but
Yeah.
there's ways of you to get your skills assessment um, positive outcome for your skills
Yeah,
assessment.
because I think Australia has a different call that like standards,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
special standards from the Philippines, and of course the standards compared to the place where I worked. Because I worked in
Yes.
China.
Yes.
Even if I worked there for almost 8 years, I don't think the standards in China would
Yeah.
suffice to
Yeah.
what they have
Yeah.
in Australia. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
does
there's
it matter if you work in a British company, or it doesn't matter as long as it's you work in China? Does it matter?
Oh, if it's a British company, of course, depends on which standard did they follow. Did they follow the British standard or did they follow the Chinese standard?
Chinese, because you don't really do that in China. They
Everything
want to
is
do their
possible
own.
in China, Kuya.
Yeah, you can copy
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
They would copy the standards in a way that they would make it look Chinese.
yeah,
So
that's
something that I
right,
was
that's
thinking
right.
about a while ago. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
work experience, because if they see it's from China, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
Well,
my company my company for more than 3 years, for more than three or almost 4 years is a British company. We have an office in London,
oh,
but
okay. Yeah.
not but but the standard we kind of, because you cannot really use the British standard in China, because they don't follow it really.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And the only way we can find
Yeah.
out is for you to look at the Australian architect skills assessment question.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe I'll check. You can find that in
I am
what's the
in.
website?
Yeah, on the website, or if you like, I can send you information on
Yeah, yeah.
The
That would be very
ANSCO
helpful,
code.
because yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you email me your email address, I'll be able to send you information on how to get your skills assessment with the Architects Australia.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. That would be very
Okay,
helpful. Yeah.
no
I
worries.
have a question,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Collins. Because I was checking the border.gov.au website for skills assessment and
Yes,
assessing authorities for the
yes,
skilled occupationalist.
yes.
I was browsing down and I found out about the agriculture consultant and agricultural scientist. Because Jay Santos is working in Dipolog now, and he works in the Department of Agriculture office.
Okay.
I noticed that here from the website it says that this will be vet assess.
Yes,
Is
yeah,
it
yeah.
like a separate body or
Yes, yes. And sometimes they'll say vet assess and then they'll refer you to some other assessing
um,
authority. Let me just check here.
okay?
Agriculture, did you
I
say?
was hmm,
You know, I cannot memorize all of it. There's over 200 different,
I know,
200
and they
different
change all the
occupations.
migration laws every
Yeah,
year, so you
yeah.
have to
I
you have
have
to
to
really
keep
read them one
abreast
by
with the changes. Yeah, yeah.
one.
And that's my job. That's my job. So, agricultural consultant or an
mm,
agricultural scientist?
either of the
So
two.
I need to be able to determine where he would fit. We need to look at the ANSCO description, job description. And then,
Yeah, agricultural consultant.
yeah,
I just opened that now.
Yeah, and then what we'll do is we compare that with his job description, and if it's similar, then that is the occupation that he needs to get assessed with vet assess.
Mm,
So vet assess, and then you go through vet assess, and what he does is he goes online, he checks whether because there's different pathways for vet assess. They do vet assess for subclass 457, the work visa, and for
mm,
migration. And then he'll do a online check to see whether he meets the question that they're asking, and then they will ask for him to apply for the skills assessment. And
okay.
then he will provide his employment history certificate, his qualification, and then sometimes they will do a Skype interview assessment because he'll ask them questions. So it depends on the occupation again on how they can assess him. And then once that's done, then he gets either a positive or they'll say, no, you need this and you need this to be
Right.
able to get your skills assessment approved.
Mm.
How old is Jay?
You have to ask him.
He's not answering.
I think he's
He
too
was
shy to
shocked.
answer. Yeah. Come on, Jay. You can participate
I
with
know,
the
I know, no, no,
Don't be
fun
30
game.
points,
scared.
30 points
Yeah.
ka ba or 25 points?
All
I
right.
think he's very, ano ba yan? He's like 5 years older than me.
So
So,
he's like
Actually,
50.
Kuya, he's from Wimsey. He's also from Wimsey.
oh, there you go, he's 39.
Yeah, we came from the same university.
Okay, all right. 39. So, you know, I only discussed these GSM. There are other options for people who
Okay.
do not meet the points. That will be the employment nomination scheme, right? As long as they're under
Mm,
50 and they can meet the skills assessment, then they can apply for different type of visa, which is of course another webinar.
mm.
Yeah, this is only one tenth of the type of visas that you can apply for.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's lots of visas you can
No
apply
split,
for.
Kuya.
Yeah. Pati nga partner visa, ilang visa subclasses. There is
Oh,
a
yeah, there are.
Wala bang
300, there's
girlfriend
a
visa?
girlfriend visa, wala eh.
They do have an 820 de facto visa. But you have to you
That's
have
a
to look for a
partner visa.
girlfriend here first, Kuya.
I
You
just
need,
look for a Australian girlfriend.
uh, you have to
And
show that you have had a committed and genuine relationship for at least 12 months.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm very
correct,
familiar
Kuya.
with it, Miss Collins, because I had a friend in in China. She's Australian, and she was
Yes.
no, not my friend, a real friend, not the thing that you're thinking about. But her boyfriend was almost going to Australia. I think it took them long to get the papers and everything. But
Yeah.
when they're almost going to Australia, they broke up. So
Oh
shit
Sad to
happens.
say,
And
Kuya.
and the
I'll
guy is
refer you to
Filipino.
my friend na lang. I'll
no.
The
refer
guy
you
is
to my
Filipino.
friend.
Oh
Uh,
my God.
yeah,
Sayang yung
shit happens.
pera niya. How much did
Correct.
they
Oh no.
pay?
I don't know, cause I think they were spending a lot of money about a lot of money
Yeah.
already.
It is a
And
lot of
then
Kasi
money.
the
last
guy,
year
the
the
gu-
visa
my
did not.
my friend brought her boyfriend in Australia already like for 2 or 3 times to visit,
Yes.
Wow naman.
and then they
Mm.
broke up.
Oh.
Kuya, wag ka naman ganyan. Hanapan na lang kita. Last year,
walang
the partner
walang
visa
sabit
was
ah.
around 4,000 plus lang eh. Ngayon,
That's
they
right.
increased it to
They increased it.
6,685.
Yeah.
Kaya ayun.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, masakit sa
I
bulsa
mean
yun.
that for that
Correct.
sorry, for that relationship thing visa. I mean, how long do you have to be with your Australian partner?
You have to show that you have had genuine and committed relationship for at least 12 months.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Cause
When we
I
process
heard
our
my
papers, ganun din.
I heard my friend told me about that because they were I think the Australian government were calling people in China asking about their relationship.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
that's
that
right.
true?
That's right. They
Yeah, yeah,
can do
yeah.
that. They
Because
can do that.
because mo- because most of our friends are all architects and they call their different offices and they ask about their relationships. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
They will investigate, especially if they haven't lived together. They will
Mm.
investigate whether it's real because some people pay someone
Yeah,
to
some people
sponsor
pay other
them.
people to come here.
Yeah, yeah.
I know someone who did that, and they were successful.
Oh,
But they were
wow.
breaking the law. But they were breaking the law. Kaya lang, I just don't want to
No,
meddle what
I
they
know.
did.
And you
Kaya
know what
ayun.
makes it harder then for the genuine ones?
Mm,
Oh
Yeah.
really?
Mm.
Hmm.
Because of course they make it harder for the people who are genuine because people abuse the system.
yeah.
So
And
they
that's
they
probably the reason they raised the fee as well, to make it harder for people to come
that's
here.
and they also limited the number of people you can sponsor. You can only sponsor two partners now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after the
So
second no
kuya,
Sorry,
more.
can you repeat that again? You can only sponsor what?
You
Two
can only
two
sponsor
partners?
two
two,
in a
two with,
lifetime because sometimes they
Ah,
sponsor somebody and then they
oh, when they
divorce.
break up.
Yeah, they
Yeah. Then
divorce and
find
then
another
they find
one.
another one, then they sponsor that
ah.
person. Yeah, you're only
Oh,
allowed to
so kuya,
sponsor two.
do not look for two
Substitute.
girlfriends, ah. Sa isa lang.
I'm a one woman guy.
Ah, that's good.
Oh, alam ko.
Shh, shut up.
When you're single, you collect and select the best.
Pwede rin naman, pero if you're
They
single.
collected me. They rejected me. Don't tell that to your sister,
Yeah.
Amy.
Yeah, but there are a lot of partner visas talaga, kuya. Some people can even live here even while they're still married in with their Filipino
Yes,
partners,
that's right.
or
Really?
even while, yeah, even while their Australian partners are still married and not divorced here, you can live together for a year, and then after a year you apply for a de facto partner visa.
Yeah, that's right.
Ganun. But
That's
you
right.
That's
but
allowed.
you still have to prove how genuine your
Yeah,
relationship is.
that's
You have
correct.
to show a lot of documents. So it's
Yeah,
nerve-wracking to prepare documents.
yeah,
Ako nga, it
yeah.
took me at least 6, 7 months to prepare for it before I resigned.
Oh,
I made sure that all my documents are prepared before I
yeah,
came here.
yeah,
Kasi
yeah,
it's so difficult talaga and very expensive.
yeah,
And
yeah.
before you
And
know it, some other people even like they separate even while they're already here kasi because of the stress of preparing the documents for their
oh my
visa.
goodness. And that's where you need a
I've experienced a
migration
lot of
agent.
people that.
Yeah, a
Mm,
migration agent will take away the stress of it.
Okay.
So everybody else is quiet.
they're
Madeline,
How about the
listening.
others?
you
How
all
about
right,
your
man?
questions? Yeah, how about the others, Alvin and Jay? Any other questions for Miss Collins?
Hi, Dita. When is the
Uh,
next webinar for students? Kailan po yan?
Oo.
Yeah, are you gonna be
I'm
when
going to
are you gonna be
prepare.
doing
I'm
that
going
this
to
week?
prepare. What's the day? Tuesday. We can probably do it over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Over the weekend, di ba, ang mga request ng iba ay weekend webinar. Maybe you can do
yeah,
it
they'd
on
like to do it on
Sunday,
weekends.
and then we've got a few days to promote it.
Okay. Sunday.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
Okay, tita.
Is Sunday okay?
Yeah, Sunday's good.
Yeah, that will be okay. I'm
Yeah.
mass messaging people now. If you can
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 but
yeah.
All right.
CJ,
That's good.
do you have any other questions?
Mhm.
So if you guys think of a question after we close this webinar, don't hesitate to email me or send me a message on Facebook.
Yes, tita.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll message you my email later about that
Yeah.
Australian Arctics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure, sure.
because
Yep.
yeah, I really need to know that because I think they have a really a different standard there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's a very
Yeah.
good standard.
Yeah, I think they're similar. I think they're similar with UK.
Yes,
They
yes,
use they
definitely.
use their measurements
Definitely.
in feet, right? Foot.
No, no,
No,
metric. Metric.
metric. Oh, that's
Uh-uh.
American standard. Okay. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. I'll send you my email later.
Okay. All right. Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much,
much.
guys, for taking the time to
Thank you,
attend
Kuya.
my webinar. Maraming
Thank you,
salamat.
tita.
Thank
Okay.
you very
Thank
much,
you.
Madeline, for
Thank you so much,
assisting me.
everyone. Yes, we'll keep you
Thank
posted
you.
for our
Okay. Thank you.
upcoming
Okay.
webinars. Yeah, thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good
Bye. Talk to
night.
you Sunday.
Goodbye.
All right.
Okay.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.